Hello everyone, so good morning. It is at least morning on my side. Today I am getting ready to go out to amusement park with my husband. I am quite excited because it's been a while since we've hung out, and when I say hang out, like have a long date. A lot of times we're just so busy with work and we just don't have like intentional time to hang out. So today's going to be really exciting and super fun, and we'll get our steps in as well. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick everyday makeup routine. This will be probably a little bit more for summer days because today it's 85 degrees where I am and it's going to be hot. So I am expecting my makeup to be melting as I'm going to be walking around. So I'm not going to put too much face makeup because I want to make sure that my face doesn't look discolored at the end of the day. So I'm going to be using this Cover Perfection concealer. This is a concealer that I probably first started out with makeup, Korean makeup, and it's still probably an all-time favorite for me because it, one, covers perfectly. It's portable because it's like the size of my thumb, and it covers well. I mean, that's the whole part of a concealer, and it does its job really well. Today, I typically go for the Amuse Cushion Foundation, but since we are going to be outside, I want something a little bit more resistance. I'm going to be using my all-time favorite Parnell serum cushion. This is really good because it has a little bit of a satin mattifying effect, and it doesn't completely feel glowy. So today I'm not going for a super glowy look because we are going to be outside and the sweat is already going to make us glowy. I actually kind of use this up. So here's a little trick that I do. Let's say you have a cushion foundation that you've kind of used up. I get a little tweezer like this and I actually pluck it out. And the reason why I do that is because on the other side of the cushion, there's an entire section where I have not used. You can see right here. So it makes it so much more, usable, and just put the rest on my skin. But yeah, it's a great way to not waste any cushion foundation you have and make sure you used all of it. So I'm just gonna go in, and the puff is also really good, which I really like. You might hear a little bit of bird noises because we recently moved, and right outside our house we have a little big tree. I think a big tree that has little birds, and I think they hang out there. Like there's a whole family out there. So usually in the mornings and afternoons I'll hear the birds chirping. Kind of nice and relaxing until you have to wake up, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna try to blend this out as much as possible because I think I put a little bit too much, but just blend it out and make it look natural. And most likely the sweat and the kind of heat will help kind of break it down. So these days, what I've been up to is really just cleaning, a lot of cleaning in the house. I finally organized my dresser, and the walk-in closet is perfect because it just has enough stuff for my stuff, and he has his own separate walk-in closet. And it's been nice to kind of divide things because before we were sharing our closets for quite a while, and since we have our own mini version of walk-in closet, it's just so much nicer to have our stuff separately. I'm all about creating your own space even in your own home because then you feel like you can find stuff easier too. Let's see. So today, I think instead of a powder blush, I might go for a little bit of a, I can't even think, liquid blush. And we're going to be using the Say liquid blush. I got this probably 7-8 months ago. This has not run me out. One, because I don't think I've been using it enough. And two, these liquid ones are pigmented, like the Rare Beauty ones. So they just don't ever run out. So if you need a blush that will not run out, I highly recommend something like this, liquid blush. But I do have to be a little quick with my fingers, otherwise it does kind of settle in. So just gonna blend it in. And what I've noticed about the Say blushes is that they have a little bit of a glowy, dewy effect, which I personally like. So you don't really need a highlighter. It's just kind of nice to have this on your skin. So, like that. That's the Say blush. And we're gonna just kind of finish off everything with some powder. But before I go in with my powder, I'm gonna go in with my light dust of the bronzer that I've been using. This is the Physicians Formula bronzer in bronzer. Is that the color? It literally says the bronzer, which is so funny. But anyways, I mentioned this in my previous video, but this smells like coconuts, and it's the best. I love it, and it just gets me in such a good mood. Just smelling good stuff. Good stuff. So, and personally, I like the shade because it's slightly orangey brown, and it's not super, how do I say it, gray. In the summertime, I like a little bit more of a browny, chocolate brown, kind of more bronzy look. And in winter, I like to contour. So I also like contouring my nose as well, so I get a mini brush like this, fluffy one. I put a little bit, tap it off, the excess, and then just go all the way on my nose. And I kind of just like to blend it on the top of my eyes. Today I'm probably not going to wear a lot of eyeshadow, or if any, none, since we are going to be walking around a lot, so just gonna put this back here. So that's gonna be it, and I probably look kind of pale and empty since I have the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna seal everything in with my favorite Huda Beauty powder, and this is the Easy Bake powder in Cherry Blossom. Kind of has a little bit of a light pink shade. And for puff, I use the Laura Mercier powder puff that I actually got from, I think, a sample. I ended up giving the powder away to my mom because I like a powder that's mattifying rather than glowy. But one powder I do want to try is the Hourglass one. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I have the Hourglass concealer as well, which I like. So I know a lot of their products are known for glowy looks. Okay. Moving on, we're gonna go in with some brows. Just gonna frame the face. I go in with my favorite Maybelline Express brow pencil, and this is a double-ended brow pencil. So there's a pencil on one end, and then there's a little powder on the other end. So I'm just gonna go in and kind of powder and fill in the extra, and just so we can chat a little bit, I've heard that there is a Lilo and Stitch movie coming out, which I have been pretty excited about watching. I don't think I've gone to the theaters in, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months. It's been a long time since, a lot of things can be streamed now. I've actually been recently watching those YouTube free movies that you can stream with the ads running. Honestly, it's such a good way to watch some old movies. I've actually never watched Legally Blonde, so I binge watched the entire the entire movie, and I did like it. First one's always better than the second. What was I doing? Okay, brain fart. Let me go in with my powder now, and I'm gonna go in with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna go in with this kind of darker brown color. I found this to be the perfect eyeshadow-ish color. A little bit dark for me to have it as a bronzer unless I tan. My little highlighter brush, just kind of like another eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna go in with this champagne shade and just start at the tip of the nose right here. I'm gonna go in with my favorite black eyeliner. This is a felt tip, so this is the NYX Epic Link ink liner, and it creates the most perfect straight wing, and it lasts for such a long time, which I'm a fan favorite for. So I'm just gonna go in and just always start small when it comes to eyeline because it's harder erasing it later, and just kind of wing it out. I have to say it's actually easier to do my left eye, ironically, than my right eye. I think it's because I'm able to do. And I'm going to use a little bit of this highlighter shade and just add it in the inner corners of my eyes just to kind of let it pop. Okay, and then let's see. I feel like since I'm not putting any eyeshadow on, I want to go a little cray-cray on the inner corners. I'm going to add actually a little bit more glitter. I'm going to be using this shade from the Natasha Denona palette. And I'm just going to go in to kind of add those chunky glitters right in the inner corners, and it really makes the eyes pop like that. Okay, so now we're at the very last part. We're just gonna curl our eyelashes. I'm not gonna put mascara because I know in hot weather my eyelashes do not stay. They do not stay, and they probably won't stay. So I'm gonna just go ahead and curl my eyelashes like this regularly, and I'm just gonna add some falsies. But since we are going to be riding a roller coaster, we need to make sure these falsies stay. And honestly, I cannot guarantee they're going to stay forever, so we'll just have to hope for the best. But anytime I need to wear any falsies for longer than 8 hours, I always use the Duo Quick Dry Waterproof Glue. This will last me for such a long time, and it's my best friend. It works so well, and I know that I'll have guaranteed success, guarantee insurance right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off my eyelashes, make sure there are no flyaways, because we don't want to have little flyaways. And I'm just going to go in straight with applying some glue. Since it is a quick dry, don't let it dry completely. Just kind of start setting it and then let it completely dry on my eyes so it's positioned correctly. This one's kind of dried up, so I hope there's still enough. But yeah, it's definitely dried up a little bit. But I'm just going to try to get the ends. I have tried the Kiss eyelashes and even the ones from House of Lashes, and I truly do think the duo lashes are superior. They just work so much better than the rest of the other eyelash brands that I've tried. Now we have put the eyelashes on. We're going to put a tiny bit of mascara to connect everything, but not too much because we don't want it to smudge. Just a tiny bit. I probably look a little crazy right now. Making sure that the eyelashes don't tug. Okay, so that is the look. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to wait for these to dry a little bit before I curl the inner corners. I feel like the outer corners are very bam, and the inner corners are kind of looking a little weak, so I'll curl the ends. But for lips today, since we are going to be out all day, I'm going to be using a lip tint. And for lip tint, probably going to be using this one. This is a nice cool berry mauve color. And that's it. Just a nice swipe of that. Probably going to be rubbed off a little bit throughout the day, but it's going to stay as long as it can stay. And that is it for my kind of everyday, I call it my everyday glam whenever I wear eyelashes, but this is my everyday glam makeup. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I am trying to do more role plays, but I've just been so busy with work. I hope you understand, and thank you so much for the sweet comments. I'll definitely be back with a lot more fun videos, and I'll see you in the next video.